The area of excellent support produced research results and ideas for my colleagues and myself that strengthen interinstitutional collaborations on policy studies and directly or indirectly impacted public policy decisions in Hong Kong. Our research activities have made an impact on public policy and public understanding in Hong Kong. Those that can be more easily pinpointed include: 1. Articulated the concept of producer services that help facilitate the proper understanding of the role of the service economy in Hong Kong's economic transformation. 2. Adoption of the tenant purchase scheme by the Hong Kong government. 3. Adoption of 9 policy measures to stabilize deflationary pressures in the property market after the onset of the Asian financial crisis. 4. Estimated the total number of workers employed in the Pearl River Delta region by Hong Kong-originated firms had reached 10 million, became the standard quoted number in both Hong Kong and Guangdong province. 5. Develop a new theoretical approach for assessing regional economic competitiveness, was widely adopted by officials and practitioners in the Pearl River Delta region for evaluating economic performance and business opportunities. 6. Articulated the role of innovation and creativity in the economy, directly informing science and technology policy of the Hong Kong government in considering the Phase 3 development of the Science and Technology Park. 7. Articulated the role of public housing policy that directly informed Macau government in developing its housing strategy for low-income households. And 8. Develop a much better definition of measured poverty based on temporal static conceptions of household income inequality. A central thrust of our work is to get the ideas into the public domain, to be debated and discussed, to shape public opinion and influence the thinking of policy leaders. Researchers in the program continue to participate in the semi-annual Asian Economic Panel, inaugurated in 2001 by Jeffrey Sachs of Columbia University. Hong Kong U has hosted one of these meetings in 2004. In September 2014, we jointly organized the biannual meetings of the Mont Pelerin Society in Hong Kong with the theme of Emerging Asia and the Future of Liberty. All these activities help magnify the policy relevance of the research output of our researchers. In general, it is not possible to pinpoint the exact impact our policy studies have on policy through these conferences. But the Think Tanks and Civil Societies program has produced annually the Go-To Think Tank Index since 2008, has ranked our Hong Kong Center for Economic Research to be among the first time in 2008 as number 19, to be number 6 in 2009, number 14 in 2010, and number 23 in 2011, and more recently among one of the leading domestic economic policy think tanks in the world. Many of the research we have done and completed in the past continue to inform and enlighten government policy making today. For example, the introduction of the tenant purchase scheme brought immediate and long-term benefits to 180,000 to 190,000 public rental housing tenants in Hong Kong, and continues to inform how to reform public rental housing and the home ownership scheme. We have identified through our research the sources of rising static and dynamic inequality. Static inequality is a measure of inequality across households or individuals at a moment in time. Dynamic inequality is intergenerational transmission of inequality due to lack of mobility. In so doing, we have identified long-term strategies to address the interrelated areas of marriage, divorce, labor force participation, unemployment, and housing in tackling static inequality and dynamic inequality that is assisting the work of the Poverty Commission. Our research results have been used to convince the School of Economics and Finance at the University of Hong Kong to adapt as its mandatory capstone course a research project on empirical subjects that require consideration of its policy implications and ethical considerations. All senior year undergraduate students will have an opportunity to learn to do systematic research, and this will sow the seeds for young minds to appreciate research and how to undertake them. We have trained some very successful doctoral students that are now teaching in universities in Hong Kong, Beijing, and Singapore. The area of excellence funding has allowed us to pull together shared, large-scale research data that would not otherwise have been possible, and to fund technical staff on a long-standing basis to continue to enhance the research database. We have since received funding from many diverse sources, including non-governmental organizations and private donations, to sustain our policy research work. We're delighted we are able to achieve such progress, and we are grateful for the funding.